Members of law enforcement from around the state gathered at a church in Littleton yesterday to pay their respects to a Golden police officer killed in the line of duty. Officer Evan Dunn was killed in a crash with a suspected drunk driver on Highway 58 while working another crash scene. His memorial was exactly 1 week from the day he was killed.
Meanwhile, the driver involved in that crash is out on bond but set to appear in court today. Stephen Gear faces several charges for the crash that killed Officer Dunn and injured his partner, Officer Bethany Grusing. 9 News reporter Lauren Scafidi is live outside the Jefferson County Courthouse. Lauren, this hearing is set to advise Gear of the formal charges filed against him.
And that hearing is scheduled to start in just about 4 hours, Jordan. Gear is facing charges for vehicular homicide, vehicular assault, DUI, and others. And this hearing comes 1 day after that memorial service was held for 33-year-old Officer Dunn. We have some video of that memorial service we want to show you here. Dunn was hit and killed a week ago yesterday on Highway 58 while he and his partner, Bethany Grusing, were investigating another crash. Police say Stephen Gear was behind the wheel of that car that hit them. The arrest affidavit says investigators noticed his breath smelled like alcohol and that he was unsteady. Gear claims he only had one 16-ounce beer and he worked at School of Mines. The school says he was a teaching assistant professor in the mechanical engineering department. The community is shaken up by the whole thing.
I have kids that are 32 and 34, and when I saw the young man's age, it hits really close to home, and I just feel very devastated for the family.
Yeah, that hearing is scheduled for 10 o'clock this morning. 9 News will be inside and outside of the courtroom, bringing you any updates on air and on 9news.com. Stick around in the next hour. I'll explain more about the interaction between Gear and officers on scene the night that it happened. Live in Jeffco, Lauren Scafidi, 9 News.
All right, Lauren, thank you.
Right now, Boulder County deputies are still trying to identify remains found nearly 2 months ago along Blue Mountain Road northwest of Lyons. This week, deputies confirmed that there is a homicide investigation into the case. The remains were badly damaged when they were found. Investigators weren't even sure of the gender of the victim. Deputies are working with the Boulder County coroner to figure out who that victim was.
Right now, 2 firefighters are recovering after responding to a basement fire at a house in Green Valley Ranch last night. This happened in a neighborhood off of East 56th Avenue, just west of E470. Crews were able to get the fire under control. We're not sure how badly the home was damaged. Those 2 firefighters were taken to the hospital, and we don't know how they're doing this morning. Firefighters also evaluated one person who was inside the home, but they didn't need to go to the hospital. Once we learn more, we will update you on air and online.
A Douglas County sheriff is accused of illegally spending $130,000 of taxpayer money to try and convince employees not to unionize. The Colorado Fraternal Order of Police filed an unfair labor practice complaint against Douglas County, noting that the sheriff posed for campaign posters in uniform. The county spent money on consultants to deliver anti-union messages, and deputies were told to attend mandatory meetings about why unionizing would hurt them. Douglas County has already appealed the decision, and the sheriff says he, quote, simply shared accurate information so they could make an informed decision.
A potential plan is underway in Colorado Springs to strictly regulate psychedelics and their use as a natural medicine. Colorado voters decriminalized psilocybin and other common psychedelic substances back in 2022, but like recreational marijuana in Colorado Springs, newly proposed zoning rules could keep natural medicine centers out of reach. Those new rules would prohibit clinics from opening within a mile of any school, rehab facility, or child care center.
End of the day, if there's no facilitators or healing centers, and there can't be any, in the Colorado Springs area, there's really no need for cultivators, manufacturers.
To be clear, Colorado Springs residents will still have the ability to possess and grow small amounts of magic mushrooms and share them with consenting adults for free. The issue is expected to go before City Council again in 2 weeks.
Today's CPW also plans to release one of the most endangered mammals in North America back into the wild. The agency will release 15 black-footed ferrets in Lamar between noon and 5 p.m. The release comes after CPW biologists reported the ferrets are naturally reproducing for the first time at one of its reproduction sites. This isn't the first time the ferrets have been let out into the wild. Colorado began reintroducing them over 20 years ago.
This week, Colorado rolled out a way for people to play the lottery from their phones. The online platform and app jackpot.com allows people to order state lottery tickets from their phones. Colorado will offer both draw games and scratchers. Players can also buy tickets for nationwide games like Mega Millions and Powerball.
An antitrust case aimed at breaking up social media giant Meta is heading to trial. That's after a federal judge denied Meta's request for a summary judgment in the government's monopoly case. The Federal Trade Commission alleges Meta overpaid for Instagram in 2012 and WhatsApp in 2014 to stifle competition.
Right now, a storm is brewing in the Caribbean as Tropical Depression 19. The system is forecast to strengthen into Tropical Storm Sarah as early as this afternoon. It could eventually become a hurricane as it travels over warm water in the western Caribbean Sea. 5 hurricanes have slammed into the U.S. Gulf Coast this year.
Yeah, poor folks in the Southeast. Last thing we want to be talking about this late into the hurricane season. Hurricane season ends on November the 30th. Last thing we want to be talking about is a hurricane this late into the season. Meantime, for us here in Denver and Colorado, much lower impact weather for today. Highs in the mid-50s for us in Denver, right around our seasonal average of 54. But notice that gap in temperatures. Fort Collins, Greeley, 61. Lyman, La Junta, 46. Same elevation difference. Snowpack out here, no snowpack up to the north. I'll have details on our next chance for snow, which comes next week. I'll have details on that for you in a couple minutes. Brianna.
Chris, thank you so much. Sky 9 giving us a first look of this crash that we've been talking about all morning. You can see all of those westbound lanes. We are seeing a lot of delays just after Brighton Boulevard, westbound I-70. So we are seeing Denver police right now blocking that right lane. Again, this is a vehicle versus pedestrian. We know that there's serious injuries involving this crash. It looks like that car, that vehicle that was involved has been towed away, but we're still seeing investigators walking up and down westbound I-70. So again, once you pass this crash, you should be good to go, but expect heavy delays, especially if you're heading westbound I-70 right after Brighton Boulevard.